Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the financial secrets that move the markets. Today we're diving into Byline Bancorp, Incorporated's latest filing, and let's just say they're giving us a peek into their world of banking, and well, get to that. Don't forget to join our Discord server, linked in the description below for more in-depth discussions. Alright, so what we have today is what's called a Form 8K filing. Think of it as a company's urgent bulletin to investors. It's for reporting major events that happen between their regular, more detailed financial reports. This particular 8K comes to us from Byline Bancorp, Incorporated, a company incorporated in Delaware. They're telling us about their financial results for the fourth quarter, which ended on the 31st of December 2025. The earliest event reported here is the 22nd of January 2026. Byline Bancorp is a bank holding company, and their stock trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol BY. So what are they announcing that's so important it needs an immediate report? The core of this filing is about their financial results. They released a press release on the 22nd of January 2026, giving us the lowdown on how they performed in the last 3 months of 2025. Now, usually these press releases are designed to put a good spin on things, but we're going to look beyond the headlines. They also made a slide presentation available, which they use for a conference call. We'll be peeking into those numbers to see what's really going on. This section lists the actual documents attached to their filing. We've got the press release announcing their fourth quarter 2025 results, labeled as Exhibit 99.1, and a slide presentation with more details on those results. Exhibit 99.2. Tree's also a standard interactive data file, which is pretty much electronic filing cover stuff. Now, before we crunch any numbers, it's crucial to touch on the forward-looking statements section. This is where companies make educated guesses, or sometimes just hopeful wishes, about their future performance. They use words like may, might, will, and anticipate. It is important to remember these are not guarantees. Actual results can and often do differ from these predictions due to all sorts of risks and uncertainties. Byline itself warns that these forward-looking statements are based on assumptions that may not prove correct. They also mention that you can find more detailed risk factors in their annual report. And finally, we have the signature section. This is basically the company's official acknowledgement that the information in this report is true and accurate to the best of their knowledge. Here, Roberto R. Herencia, the Executive Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, signs off on behalf of Byline Bancorp, Incorporated, on the 22nd of January, 2026. Alright, let's get to the juicy part, the financial results. We're looking at their fourth quarter performance and the full year of 2025. We don't have specific tables in this text, but the filing tells us that these results were announced on the 22nd of January 2026. We'll infer some key implications based on what such a filing would typically contain. When a company announces its fourth quarter results, they are usually covering their performance from the 1st of October to the 31st of December of that year. In this case, 2025, they'll likely be discussing metrics like net income, earnings, per share revenue, and various asset and liability figures. For a bank like Byline Bancorp, Incorporated, key indicators would include net interest income, which is the profit they make from lending money versus how much they pay on deposits. They would also report on measures like loan growth, deposit growth, and the efficiency ratio, which shows how much it costs them to generate $1 of revenue. A reported increase in net interest income, for instance, would generally be a positive sign suggesting they are earning more from their core lending activities, perhaps due to higher interest rates or increased loan volumes. Conversely, a decline could signal increased competition, a slowing economy impacting loan demand, or higher funding costs. Earnings per share, or EPS, is another critical figure. It's the portion of a company's profit allocated to each outstanding share of common stock. A rising EPS is often seen as a sign of strong profitability and is attractive to investors. If Byline Bancorp reported a higher EPS for the fourth quarter of 2025 compared to the same period in the previous year, it would suggest they are becoming more profitable on a per-share basis. Wednesday also look at their loan portfolio quality. This includes things like non-performing loans, which are loans that borrowers are struggling to repay, and the provision for loan losses, which is money set aside to cover potential bad debts. An increasing amount of non-performing loans or a higher provision for loan losses would be a red flag, indicating potential trouble in their loan book and a drag on future earnings. For Byline Bancorp, their strategy might involve focusing on specific types of loans, like commercial and industrial loans or residential mortgages, and their success in these areas will be reflected in their quarterly results. They might also be expanding into new markets or acquiring smaller banks, and the impact of these strategic moves would be evident in their financial performance. Given that this is an 8K reporting earnings, the market reaction often hinges on whether the reported figures meet, beat, or miss analyst expectations. If Byline Bancorp reported better than expected profits and solid loan growth, their stock price might see a boost. On the other hand, weak results or signs of deteriorating loan quality could lead to a sell-off. It is also important to consider the broader economic context. In 2025, interest rate movements, inflation levels, and overall economic growth would all play a significant role in how banks like Byline are performing. A rising interest rate environment can be a double-edged sword for banks, potentially boosting net interest income, but also increasing the risk of loan defaults and making it more expensive to fund their operations. Now, looking at what we can infer from this filing, Byline Bancorp Incorporated is essentially reporting its score for the last quarter of 2025. While we don't have the exact numbers here, the fact that they are issuing an 8K means they've highlighted something notable in their operational results or financial condition. The company's strategy likely centers on growing its loan book and managing its deposit base effectively, all while navigating a potentially dynamic economic landscape. The forward-looking statements are a crucial reminder to all investors that while the company projects optimism, real-world challenges could alter their trajectory. So, what is my take on Byline Bancorp Incorporated based on this filing? Well, the 8K itself is a tool for transparency, giving us a timely update. The key is to dig into those actual financial results, which are attached as exhibits. What's really important is to see if their loan growth is sustainable and if their asset quality is holding up. Banks that can consistently grow their loans while keeping bad debt low are usually on solid ground. On the flip side, if we see a sharp increase in their provisions for loan losses or a significant drop in net interest income without a clear strategic reason, it is a signal to be cautious. The risks mentioned, which are detailed in their annual reports, are always a factor. Investors should pay close attention to factors like regulatory changes, interest rate sensitivity, and competition from other financial institutions. Ultimately, Byline Bancorp direction hinges on their ability to profitably lend money and manage the risks associated with doing so. Were their fourth quarter results a sign of continued strength or a signal of upcoming headwinds? That is the real story we need to follow from their attached press release and presentation. Alright, that is our quick decode of Byline Bancorp Incorporated's latest 8K filing. What are your thoughts on their financial reporting and what it might mean for the company? Let us know in the comments below if you found this breakdown helpful. Please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the financial world. And don't forget to join our Discord community, linked in the description, for even more discussions and insights. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.